It's that time of year, folks. Call of Duty season. This is the direct. It happened actually earlier today. A lot of people have already had the chance to react to it. I'll try and get a couple of your guys' insights and impressions of it as we go through some of this. Of course, I did get to go down to Treyarch.
Every Call of Duty player
first.
has a favorite campaign mission. When we set out to make Black Ops 6, we were focused on delivering missions so iconic that they stick in your memory long after. It's a high-octane spy thriller where you're never sure who to trust and what's real. And it's all set against the backdrop of the early 90s. The Soviet Union was crumbling after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War.
With veteran Frank Woods as our through line in our story. He's been pulled from the
15%.
field as he adjusts to a new role within the CIA, often behind a desk or on the other end of a radio. His protege is Troy Marshall, who's been making a name for himself in the field. Marshall is a reluctant leader driven by a strong moral compass. Marshall and Woods are working with another new face in Black Ops 6, CIA handler Jane Harrow. She's a born leader, fearless and brilliant, and helps manage their relationships within the agency.
We prioritized mission variety and unique experiences. One moment, you'll be storming a palace. The next, you'll be pulling off a heist at a casino. Within these missions, we wanted gameplay to unfold in multiple ways. Where we have different combat styles, we also have conversation
look at that
opportunities
mocap.
where you can talk, barter, and manipulate your way into different experiences. And we think you'll want to replay levels to see them all.
We'll see. We'll see.
So whether they choose to go in guns blazing or take a stealthier approach,
Line them up right, you can take them both down with one shot.
and a variety of ways to approach that objective. One mission in particular takes place in a vast desert in Iraq. You and your team are hunting down missile launchers with the SAS. It's one of the largest campaign maps that we've ever created.
Look alive, people! They know we're coming!
You'll find that some of our destinations have a startling contrast in look and feel as well. We have a mission that takes place in an opulent casino in Southern Europe. It's unlike any past
So these are going to be the maps for multiplayer
place
as well.
in an
They're going to be not necessarily as pristine, but it's going to be like run down. Or, after what happens from the campaign will be the multiplayer maps. So, take in some of the
casino
areas
in
I
Southern
guess.
Europe. It's unlike any past mission in Call of Duty.
We are excited to offer an array of brand new equipment, as well as some favorites from the Black Ops universe.
RCXD classic.
Tranquilizer Trap,
Oh,
Adrenaline Stim, homing,
look at this, dude. This is the one that I saw that I mentioned in the video.
Adrenaline Stim, homing knife,
And it actually follows when you throw it like that camera perspective there, which then blows up as well. So you stick them and it blows up. How insane
Disruptor,
would that be in Warzone?
The campaign is grounded within an expanded campaign hub called the Safe House. You might remember we also had that in Black Ops Cold War. We chose to have our team's hub located in a more naturalistic setting.
Looked like the house from
So,
Starfield.
It's in an abandoned manor by an ocean cliffside. The team is also bringing back the evidence board, which is still the centerpiece of the Safe House experience, but with brand new upgrades. Players can view the campaign outline, gain deeper insights into missions, and analyze evidence collected throughout missions.
We've pushed ourselves at every corner to innovate and craft the most signature
Note here.
and craft.
Look at while he's diving backwards, he's shooting. This is such a great change. I have been waiting for this. The dolphin dives have just been so frustrating to use because you got to wait to land and then you can finally shoot whatever. Look at this. He's even diving sideways, shooting in air his shotgun while diving sideways. No longer just diving forward anymore. You are full sprint speed in any direction. you're booking it with that back pedal backwards. Diving, sliding, you can slide backwards, slide anywhere, whatever, doesn't matter. You're moving. The animations all look so good with it. Look at that slide through right there. Come on. And obviously, this is a little ramped up. We'll get to it as well. There is going to be a spectator mode or a theater mode in this game. This is what we're used to seeing on top. The character just spins around. It looks so goofy, but, you know, we're used to it. Like, probably, at least for me, I was not expecting this direction for the game to be the change this year. While he's diving, while he's in air doing a 180, uses that supine spin, which in the past you'd be dolphin diving and then you spin and you still do this movement while in air. It looks ridiculous. You know, people still do it. It makes the game look very arcadey. This takes it to another sense of the realism in terms of all of the animations. Obviously, you're kind of a super badass soldier, but
For the first time ever, players can sprint in any direction and move like a true Black Ops action hero with an entirely new global system we call Omni Movement. And seamlessly chain combat maneuvers like slide, dive, and our enhanced supine prone in full 360 degrees range of motion.
From the beginning, we started with, you can't do this thing, why? And then realized people actually move that way. What happens if we get rid of...
This is why it's been so frustrating to dolphin dive and not be able to shoot. And in Warzone 2, they made it even worse. You'd have to dive, you'd have to wait 2 seconds, and then you were allowed to shoot. If you dove in that game or decided to slide, you were dead. They were like, nope, punished. You want to move? Punished. No shooting for you. No shooting. Now they're like, F it, bro. You could be mid-dive and be shooting. That's what I'm talking about.
Construct, and then instantly it opened up like, oh, if you can sprint in any direction, then you can dive in any direction, you could slide in any direction, which then led to all the on-the-ground movement and everything else chaining together.
We truly believe that once you experience Omni Movement, there's no going back.
Okay, I don't know if they mention it later here, but look at this as well. This is now a feature. Even in multiplayer, you can grab the dude, pull the gun out over the side, and shoot while holding him, snap his neck at the end, and continue going on. He'll absorb all the bullets that are coming at you.
We also have what we're calling intelligent movement, which is a set of features that drastically reduces
Here's one
how
for
many
the
buttons or
noobs.
keys you're pressing to perform various movements. These can be enabled in player options, and they're broken down into 3 categories: sprint assist, mantle assist, and crouch assist. And each of these settings will allow for fine-tuning.
So look at this. He's only holding forwards. Before, the first time he did
This
this,
is how many
he had to click left stick,
buttons or keys
mantle,
you're pressing to perform various movements.
sprint,
These can be
crouch. Nah, not anymore. You just hold forwards. That's
mantle
it.
assist and crouch assist.
Only
And
holding
each of these
forwards.
settings will
So if
allow
you want
for
to get somebody
fine-tuning.
into this game, it should be way easier. So watch as he approaches this corner. You see how it leans. They had something like this in one of the older CODs. Maybe it was even Battlefield. I don't know. But this is not designed for it to look like this from the other player's perspective. It's not a player actively leaning on purpose. If you are slow approaching a wall, it will give you a little bit of an angle out for the animations, the aesthetics of the game. It's not designed to take over your character and control you with where you're going.
I don't think this is a one-size-fits-all thing, and I encourage players to play around with combos of these settings to really dial in their preferred setup. Hit zones are regions on a character that react when taking damage or dying. In past games, we've only had 4 regions. For Black Ops 6, we've actually increased that to 9 regions, so now we can determine if that enemy was shot in their left leg or right leg, and then we'll play a bespoke death animation depending on that location that they were hit.
Boom, dude!
So world connectivity
Instantly
is this
change
concept
directions,
that players'
bro.
movement and reactions
Oh,
are connected to the
geez.
world based on their choices.
Really looked like you got hit by a
Great
shot. Oh,
example that
yeah!
really shot
And the
reactions are
diving in the
connected to
water.
world based on
I forgot about this. So this is, if you're gonna go for a dolphin dive into water, it's not just like you splash onto it. You actually look at the animation for this dive. Like the attention to detail is just getting nuts.
their choices.
Actual dive in there.
Your weapon's going to dynamically rotate in the direction that you're rounding that corner. And since it's dynamic,
did you notice
it'll be
that? They
dynamically
never
rotate
mentioned this.
in
He
the
shot the door open.
direction that
I didn't even. They never mentioned this.
The thing that I'm most excited about is the number of new weapons from the era that we've added, which includes many that are brand new to the franchise. And it allowed us to pull a unique mix of weapons. We made sure to deliver dozens of unique attachments for every gun, and this allows the players to create a weapon to match any playstyle that you can imagine, all while maintaining the feel and tone of the era.
The Black Ops 6 user experience is all about focusing players on what they need when they need it. From the mini-map to the ammo widget to in-game notifications, the Black Ops 6 HUD combines some of our best designs in a clean, streamlined experience. For the first time in Call of Duty, players will be able to change their HUD in dramatic ways to suit their needs. For instance, streamers can choose a layout optimized for their setup, or maybe you want your HUD centered so you don't have to look.
This is crazy to me. This is the wildest one. Look at this. Why would you need to see your ammo right in the middle of your screen? I don't think so. Maps down on the side here. If anything, this is what I want. I just want to bring in the HUD of the TAC map on the top left closer to the middle. If anything, put that like over here. You know, I don't want to look so far up to the top corner.
Where as players track that elusive challenge or target their next level unlock, some of our best designs.
But it's pretty clean nonetheless. Where my head is, you can see pretty much everything. There's a couple things underneath my head right now where it shows he has extra movement, tac sprint, and quick regen. You know what else too? Well. They moved the compass. Used to be up at the top of the screen up here. They've now moved it to the top of the mini-map here, which this can still be a square. This is the default that they do in a lot of the Call of Duty games to make it a circle, but you get more information if you make it a square, so it's usually best to do that.
As players track that elusive challenge or target their next level unlock, Black Ops 6 delivers an end-to-end experience from the lobby into combat and back, where player progress.
Here's one of the guns, and something you might notice here, I'm just saying it, so I'll mention it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attachments there, which is the standard that you would typically see in Call of Duty, but we've also seen wild cards in the past that give extra attachments. And notice he has 3 extra attachment slots on this gun here.
Progress and achievement are celebrated in a big way.
No, it looks pretty clean.
Looking back through the Call of Duty and Black Ops catalog, there's a lot of love, both internally at Treyarch and that we see in our community, for how we used to handle prestige. Traditional prestige is back in Call of Duty with Black Ops 6. We pulled the best of the best
look at that
from past
ragdoll,
Call of
dude.
Duty prestige systems.
Oh my goodness.
Going bigger and more rewarding than ever. Players who reach max player level will have the choice to enter prestige, start fresh with relocked gear, and go through the leveling journey again. Black Ops 6 will have 10 prestige.
This is something I think actually a lot of people didn't like about Call of Duty and their leveling system of why they changed it in the first place was because you have to constantly reset all of your progress. You do all of this grinding and then boom. So if you weren't a fan of that in the past, well, it's back. However, they did say, and they were really emphasizing that they wanted this to be rewarding and that it will be. There's tons of unlocks, challenges, and everything for you to do along the progress system for it, as well as in later Black Ops games. They had it so when you reset your prestige, you could carry forward a gun or a perk or whatever it is that you wanted to keep. Just a lot of the old fans really enjoyed this. And it's something that, like, we've been without the prestige system for so long. Like, the new system was kind of cool, but honestly, I don't think I ever really even enjoyed it. I've never cared about my levels at all, and I hate the fact that my level keeps getting capped. That's what pisses me the most off, like, in practice after. I didn't know how it would be until I played it. Having played it, you know, I think this is going to be a better system overall. They said they wanted it to be more like that, but they wouldn't tell us exactly how the system works for carrying over. My guess is it'll be quite forgiving.
Players who make it through Prestige 10 aren't done. Instead, they'll graduate into Prestige Master with 1,000 additional levels to climb through.
Yeah, that's sick.
And a classified reward to uncover for anyone dedicated.
This is the way it should have been
done.
done. This is the way it should be done.
The full Prestige system is available on day 1 in Black Ops 6.
That's what they did too. They said you can get to level 55, but then you got to wait for Season 1 if you want to keep leveling up past that. So it's 10 prestiges. So you get to level 1 to 55 is like the base, you know, private to general. You get all your unlocks from that. Then it resets back to 1. 55, do that 10 times. Then you continue on. Once you get to the 10th prestige max level, you unlock 1,000 master prestige levels.
Our vision since day one has been to craft an approachable and engaging step change of that signature Black Ops multiplayer experience. We focused on supporting 3 core playstyles for launch. Enforcers are the slayers who like to kill and stay
they
on
do
the
talk
move.
about it here.
Recon is all about intel and counter-intel play. And strategists are support players who throw their bodies at objectives for the win or focus on taking out enemy score streaks for the team. All of our weapons, gear, and gadgets in multiplayer have been intentionally designed through that lens of supporting these play styles. And of course, it wouldn't be a Black Ops game if you can't relive those action hero moments in theater mode, which we're happy to announce is returning with Black Ops 6.
We're happy to announce that we will be launching with 16 all-new MP maps. We've got 12 core 6v6 and 4 strike maps, which can be played as 6v6 or 2v2. The maps have their own stories, and we have multiplayer taking place after the campaign, after you finish it. So don't want to get into too many spoilers there, but you'll experience some of those locations through the multiplayer lens.
The zombies. I'll let them explain it a bit first.
Ground-based Zombies is back, and we're picking up the Dark Aether storyline where we left it. We're excited to announce that there will be 2 brand new maps available at launch, with a curated mix of fan-favorite features and new elements to discover, deadly enemies, and tons of secrets to uncover. The innovations in movement systems will also be coming to Zombies. Plus, there are many additional zombie-specific
I don't know if
features,
you want to be
both
dolphin
new and
diving in
returning.
zombies, though.
This is going to be a truly epic return for round-based
Probably
zombies.
slide, though.
Be on the lookout for more intel coming later this year.
Now, we know we only gave you a little taste of multiplayer here today, so make sure to mark your calendars for our worldwide multiplayer reveal event at Call of Duty Next on August 28th.
Oh, shoot,
Make
August
sure to
28th.
stay tuned for details and watch your favorite streamers get hands-on Black Ops 6.
think I'm gonna get invited this year,
so
guys?
You can be prepped and ready to jump into our MP beta and feel Omni movement for yourself.
You better get invited. Thank
Am
you.
I allowed to talk about Warzone yet?
No. Warzone. Oh, shoot.
Our goal on Black Ops 6 was, and still is, to make something that is the best work we've ever done, and frankly, the most fun to play. In other cases, it led us back to some of our classic systems like Prestige, then taking that classic system through the ringer and making updates and improvements. Across our weapons, gear, operators, maps, and more, a huge push has been to hit the highest visual and audio fidelity possible. The campaign tells an all-new Black Ops story where you're forced to go rogue and are being hunted by the teams that trained you. On top of that, the team is really focused on mission and engagement variety. Multiplayer is a key ingredient in the DNA of Black Ops, and hopefully, in this sneak peek, it was clear that every single part of the MP game loop will be improved and better than ever, from movement, to shooting, to footsteps, to engagement systems, to death. And last but definitely not least, the triumphant return of round-based zombies. There is so much more to share across all 3 game modes before the game officially launches on October 25th.
This is one of the 2 maps. I saw clips from this one earlier as well. This is a kind of a prison-esque. It reminded me of, you know, kind of the Rebirth map when I saw some of the clips that they did show us. But you're essentially trying to break out of the prison and escape, which is what, obviously Alcatraz, kind of the original version of that, which is one of the absolute fan favorites people love. I think it's going to be a very exciting one. Even when they were talking about zombies earlier, I didn't really see the other map featured, but that is in West Virginia. And it was kind of like a suburb, you know, town center area. It looked very cool. A very different vibe than a dark, closed off, very claustrophobic area. It was more of an open, sprawling one, which is very, you know, only so open. They'll let you be in zombies in general. But what did they leave out, though?
The entire team, we can't wait for you to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Oh! October 25th is the launch date as well. There it is. knives are now their own weapon slot. So you're going to be able to run around with your with a knife. So that's going to be pretty cool. Black Cell Pass. Oh, Gobblegum too. They didn't mention that for zombies. Look, Gobblegum packs. I don't know how that worked back in the old Black Ops stuff, though. I didn't really play much of the zombies in the later Black Ops games. Something else they did confirm, they didn't mention in this, is that all of the, it's in my video, but all of the cosmetics in the game will not be transferring to Black Ops 6 for the multiplayer. They will, however, transfer to Warzone. So if you are a multiplayer main, that's not going to be happening on any of the multiplayer maps. All that content, you're not going to have your old weapons, obviously. Those aren't transferring, but to the same extent, the blueprints and the operator skins, those are not transferring either. There's no carry forward this time around. We did see that from Modern Warfare 2 to 3 for most of them, but it's not going to be for this one.